everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Louton Show. Today is Comedy Day, so we'll be counting down Dina and Louton's top 10 funniest jokes of all time. This one's number one is some advice to all 7-Eleven and liquor store owners. You see, scientists have just come up with a new way that you can tell if someone's lying to buy cigarettes or alcohol. All you have to do is measure how young they are in Instagrams. Genius! Number two, oh dear. In 2018, the huge backlog at the doctor's office was taking its toll. Patients were glancing at their watches and getting restless. Finally, one man walked to the receptionist's desk and rapped on the glass. She pulled back the glass and said, "Sir, you'll have to wait your turn." The man said, "I just have one question. Is George H.W. Bush still president?" Another Bush one, although this is George W. Bush. He was campaigning at an old age home and decided that he would test the mental comprehension of its residents. He asked one lady if she knew who he was. She said, "Oh, don't worry, dear. Having some memory trouble, huh? That nurse over there has all our names. So nice." Number three. As a campaign slogan, Franklin Pierce said, "We pulped you in 44, we'll pierce you in 52. And here are two jokes from Ronald Reagan, my favorite president. Number one. The Russian and the American were arguing. The American said to the Russian, "Well, I've got something you haven't got." And the Russian said, "Oh, what's that?" And the American said, "I can go to the Oval Office and I can bang on the desk of the president and say, I do not like the way that Ronald Reagan is governing the country." And the Russian guy said, "Well, I can do the same." And the American said, "Really? Can you do that in Russia?" And the Russian guy said, "Sure. I can go to the Kremlin, I can bang on Gorbachev's desk, and I can say, I don't like the way Ronald Reagan is governing the country." Another one from Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was driving along in his car one day, and he was being chased by a chicken. He increased his speed, but the chicken kept running along like crazy. So he decided when the chicken overtook him, he would just follow the chicken home. He eventually arrived at a farmhouse. He said to the farmer, "You've got such a fast chicken." Then he glanced down and saw that the chicken had 3 legs. Oh dear, mutant. And he said, "Oh, I see, he's got 3 legs." The farmer said, "Yeah, I breed chickens like that." And Ronald Reagan said, "Why?" And the farmer says, "Well, I'm sick of this. I like the drumstick, Mom likes the wife likes the drumstick, and baby likes the drumstick. So I decided I'd breed 3-legged chickens." Ronald Reagan said, "How do they taste?" And the farmer said, "Well, I don't know. I haven't caught one yet." Oh, that was the funniest guy ever. Then 2 jokes from my grandfather. Once there was a guy with 2 bandaged ears. His friend asked him why he had 2 bandaged ears. And he said, "Well, the one I was ironing and the phone rang, so I picked it up and I picked the iron up and put it near my ear. And I was obviously burned." And the friend said, "Oh, wow, that must have been painful." The guy said, "Oh, it was." And then the friend said, "Well, what about the other ear?" And the guy said, "Well, I was ironing and the phone rang. And I picked up the iron and put it to my ear." He did the thing twice. Another one was about being burned. There was a guy who came to hospital, and the guy's wife was asked, "Why? What's the problem with him?" And the wife said, "Well, he has a burnt bottom." And the doctor said, "Well, how did that get that way?" And the wife said, "Well, he was smoking on the toilet, and he didn't realize that I'd put cleaning chemicals in. And he threw his cigarette butt down in the toilet, and it roared up and burned his bottom." Then another, George H.W. Bush one. Moses was walking down the street. He bumped into George H.W. Bush. "Hello," George H.W. Bush said. "Nice weather we're having today, huh?" Moses took one look at the president and ran. This happened again the next day. And the president decided the next time that happened, he was going to chase after Moses. So it happened again the next day, and he chased after Moses. He eventually caught up with him, and by that time he was going, because Moses was running so fast, and the president says, "Well, why are you running away from me?" And Moses said, "Well, the last time I talked to a bush, I spent 40 years in the desert. You think I want to go through that again?" Oh, and then the last one for today's jokes, number 10, was one from Homer Simpson, one of my favorite and American favorite men in his yard. Homer said, "Why, sure, I have a backyard that makes my front yard look like an idiot." Oh, guys, it's been so much fun telling you jokes. I hope you had a good laugh. I left some space in the middle where you could laugh. And I hope your pants are all wet because you peed in your pants because you laughed so hard. And I will see you tomorrow. As always, give this video a like, give our channel a subscribe, turn on that little bell so you never miss a podcast, and give me a follow on Twitter and tell your friends. They'll love my tweets and my podcasts. Also, you want to see this cause carry on? You can make it. Go to www.patreon.com/The Louton Show and donate more than $1 to get a shout out. Okay, goodbye. Oh, sorry, it was just so funny. Goodbye.